So what would you say if I told you that you have superpowers? What if I told you that you're a genius and that this genius has been living inside of you ever since the very first day you were born? Would you believe me? Would you say, that TEDx lady is crazy? What would it take for me to convince you? How about if Einstein said it? Would you believe it? Einstein actually said that inside all of us, there is a genius, that we all have a superpower. But our problem is that we have been using the wrong tools to measure genius. We say, for the sake of everything being fair, we will make sure that everyone has to take the same exam. So is the fish less of an intelligent fish because it can't climb a tree? Or is the elephant feeling, man, I wish I would have not eaten all those donuts, lost some weight, because it can't climb a tree? Of course not. Each of us has a genius within, but the problem is that we need to use the right tool to find it. Would you like to find out what that right tool is? Okay, so we're going to do a little neuroscience today. I want you to picture your brain. Our brain is made up of 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. The first part is your prefrontal. Right now, all of us are using our prefrontal brain. We're listening, we're doing critical thinking, we're judging. I don't know if I like those shoes. We're analyzing. We're reading the slide, maybe writing notes. We're using our prefrontal brain. That's your prefrontal brain. Your middle brain, your limbic brain, that we're going to get to later, your limbic brain. It's an amazing place. That is where I believe our inner genius lives. We'll get to it later, though. Behind here is called your reptilian brain. Now, your reptilian brain has been there since the beginning of time. It keeps us safe. Your reptilian brain is the safeguard. It has a master alarm switch. It senses when you're in danger. And when it senses you're in danger, it shuts all access down. Nothing is coming information in through here, and there's definitely no access to your inner genius. You are completely locked down. You've heard this before. We all have 3 main alarm systems. We fight, we freeze, or we flee, and we run away. Think about yourself. The last time that you felt, criticized, judged. Now, you think to yourself, psh, you go into a freeze mode, you go into a shutdown mode. Now, you may wonder, well, why is that like that? Well, think about it. Thousands of years ago, when we were not as civilized and riding around in SUVs, we were roaming the earth with other bigger, scarier animals. And when your reptilian brain sensed that you were being sniffed out, measured up, analyzed against the pack, who's the weakest, your reptilian brain would go into mode of safety. We're about to be dinner. We gotta do something. Freeze, flee, or fight. Make sense? Neuroscience easy. This idea of making sure that all types of minds feel included is the foundational aspect of the neurodiversity movement. Now, you may be thinking, wow, neurodiversity and neurology and the brain, this is a whole lot of information to take in one TEDx. But actually, neuro-inclusion is super easy. Neuro-inclusion is just making sure that everyone, regardless of their ability, feels like they have a place of belonging. Everyone, whether you are a typical neuromind or you are a different neuromind, right? All of the labels that we give, the ADD, the LMNOP, the QRSTUV. You're following? Neuro-diversity movement, neuro-inclusion means everybody belongs because we all should be supported. We all should be accepted. We all should feel included. Now, I know that neurodiversity is very easy because I experienced it when I was in this kindergarten, long before the words neurodiversity were ever even around. I experienced it because in my kindergarten class, I was the only child, probably inside my elementary school, to rock a curly afro. And every single day I got bullied. I got called names. I even got called the terrible N-word. I was treated like I was from Mars. But my teacher, Mrs. Anderson, took out the time to listen, to give me support. And she asked me, "Honey, how can I help you?" And I told her, "I think they're making fun of me because I didn't afro pick my hair today." She said, "What can I do?" I said, "Can you use this picnic fork to comb my hair? Because this is what an afro pick kind of looks like." And so she did. And in that moment, when my reptilian brain knew, we're safe, I was able to learn. I was able to access my limbic brain and access my genius. So that's the first step. The first step to accessing your genius is turning off the reptilian brain that says you're in danger, that says you don't belong here, that says you're a misfit, something is up, you're about to become somebody's dinner. Step one, turn it off. Belonging, safety. Step two, very simple. Now that you have total access, information can come in and you can access your limbic brain where your inner genius lives. Because the master alarm is off, now it's time for you to speak your unique limbic language. Now, your limbic language, or your limbic brain, for clarification, is where the seat of your emotions are. It's your motivation. It's why you are the way that you are. It's your original blueprint. It has been fully developed, unlike your prefrontal brain that is not developed until 25. Your limbic brain has been fully developed since day one birth. So, in order to be able to access your limbic brain, you have to use the right key for the right door. If you don't use the right key for the right door, you may feel like I felt when I lived in Istanbul, Turkey. I felt like an American cow trying to stop an Istanbul bus. Let me explain. For 6 months while I was living in Turkey, I used to take the bus every single day, and I would hear people say a saying in order to be able to stop the bus. So I listened and parroted what I thought I heard. İnek var, inek var. Now, if you're Turkish, you're probably laughing at me. But 6 months later, when I was finally taking the bus with a group of friends who were actually from Turkey, I said, "Oh, is our stop coming up? İnek var, inek var." Thinking that I'm using the right key to open the right door? No. They started busting up laughing. "Candice, what in the world are you saying?" I said, "I'm trying to stop the bus." They said, "Honey, no. You need to say inecek var." I was like, Ena, Jack, Enac, tomato, tomato. What's the big deal? It's a key. No. They said, Candice, honey, you're saying Ena Jekvar means there's someone who wants to get off the bus. Enekvar means there's a cow. There's a cow. Stop the bus. Right key for the right door. So, we're going to take a little genius exercise, okay? Now, what I want us to do is, because your specific limbic language is yours, your key. Those are your keys. I can't take your keys and use them for my door. Does that make sense? So we're going to do a little genius exercise in finding our genius. I'd like for us to close our eyes, take a deep breath. Don't worry, I'm not going to come down off of the stage and scare you. But close your eyes, and I'd like for you to imagine being a child. When you felt the most peaceful, when you felt like a fish in water, when you were operating in your genius. You were a child, see the sights, taste the tastes, see the smells, taste the smells. And hours would go by doing this one specific task. Or maybe it was many tasks. Now open your eyes. That you saw right there, that visual, those smells, those emotions, that place where you felt most like yourself, most like your authentic self, that is your specific limbic language key. You see, because your limbic brain does not speak in words. It speaks in pictures and feelings and motivation and drive. We're following? So now that you have alignment, you've turned off the alarm system so that you have all access. You've accessed your limbic brain for the right key, for the right door. Now it's time for you to leverage that and put that in your daily life. For my friend Carrie, when we did the limbic language exercise, she said, I imagined myself outside every single day. I saw myself as a child playing ballet, dancing ballet. Now you see, that's her specific limbic key. Ballet wouldn't work for me. I'm Latina. Salsa would be the only key that would work. But she saw herself, back to Carrie, she saw herself playing ballet and dancing ballet. She said, well, what does that mean for me? I said, honey, in order for you to keep your alarm system off, where it feels that you're safe, that you are with your tribe, that you are a place where you belong, you need to watch and perform and play and dance ballet as much as possible every single day, so that you can always have full access to your inner genius. And then you can use that inner genius in your parenting, in your business, in your relationships. Does that make sense for you? The picture that you saw for yourself, those are your keys. Those are the things that you need to do every single day to turn off that alarm system. Let him or her know that you are safe. So we need to have access to the genius. And when you have total alignment, that's when your genius can be unleashed and unlocked. I know for myself, for most of my 40 plus years, I didn't always know what my specific limbic brain language was. I was using the wrong key for the right door. And so just like Einstein's fish, I felt incompetent. I felt defeated. I felt like I was struggling to breathe. I thought, well, maybe I'm a misfit. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm unfit. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm a mistake. Maybe I do have a disorder. You see all the labels and how they neurobiologically impact a child's mind? The NIH actually says that when we deprive children a sense of belonging, it has negative consequences on their well-being in the future. So for me, 45 years plus of not really knowing my limbic brain language, I was always using the wrong key. But when I finally found the right key for me, not for someone else, not for the fish, not for the monkey, but for the peacock. You see, when I accessed my specific brain language, limbic brain language, and I had total alignment, and I found my tribe, my safe people, where I could be myself, that's when genius unleashed. I was able to, like they said, start my business for exceptional families to find their superpower. We created an accessible technologies book so that way children who have different abilities can feel like they're superheroes too. I graduated first generation with my master's in special education, something that hadn't been done before. And then to boot, they honored me by asking me to be the student speaker at my graduation. All of that was because I became aligned. I became aligned and I became unstoppable. So I really want to leave you with this. This is my invitation, my charge. Find your tribe. Find where you belong. Find your place where you're safe. And then after you have shut off the alarm and your brain knows that you're safe, then take the time to search for your inner genius. She or he is leaving you clues. She's left you clues in your childhood. She's left you clues when you felt the most yourself. And then use those keys every single day to unleash your genius. Don't be like me. You've waited long enough. The world is waiting to meet the real you. Thank you.